Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Let's take a look at what's in the Mythic Rewards for HasLab's HeroQuest crowdfunding campaign. Now, if you bought the Mythic level, you got this, which also included the Heroic level content. So we'll take a look at both of those. So first you have extra dungeon tiles, including this really cool entire like bar scene that you put over the dungeon. It's neat the way these are actually used. They're used to join together a bunch of other rooms on the game board. And so you end up with this huge room with other walls in it and stuff like that. A couple new types of traps and vines and some poison, or maybe it's acid, I forget. And then this kind of pop-up creature who attacks you once and disappears. And then a little goat sea altar there in the center. And another little large tile to put into the game. So here are the quest books. Again, the stretch goals on the crowdfunding campaign included 3 additional quests. This one is 10 individual missions. This one is 13, and this one is 14. So, I mean, an additional, 37 missions to go along with the base game and the expansions. Really cool stuff. The new cards, because the stretch goals, of course, included some new classes. The Bard, the Warlock, the Druid, and another wizard card with Mentor as the wizard. And so that's really cool because you have, of course, your Mentor miniature here. So you can just swap Mentor in there and play him as your wizard if you want. That's really cool. And then, of course, your Druid miniature and your Bard and your Warlock. We'll get it there eventually. Very nice. The detail on these is really good. It's just the right level of detail where you can paint it, but it's not impossibly complicated. And then you have a bunch of the spell cards for the new classes, some class-specific items. Again, just true to the original artwork. It's really great to see. Another one of the stretch goals was an additional set of dice. That's nice. Just makes the logistics of playing the game a little cleaner. But, you know, all these extra figures were part of the stretch goals, and of course, you should expect that they'll be required to play these extra campaigns. But really, one of the cool things about these is that they were different. I mean, they're different molds than the ones that come in the base game. And so this is the gargoyle, but he's not carrying the 2 weapons, and his wings are different, and his horns are different. So they actually made different miniatures for these stretch goals, and the same with the Dread Warriors. The ones that come in the base game, they have a huge mace. Now they have the same exact shield, but their cape is different and their weapon in their hand is different. So that is really cool. I mean, it's a big extra expense for Hasbro to have gone through to make that, but man, is it neat. And then the same here, the skeletons. The base game skeletons all have a scythe, and these guys have a sword and shield and this cool looking helmet. Really, really neat bonus to get. Same deal with the orcs and the abominations, the goblins, the mummies, and the zombies, everything. They're all different. And then, of course, you have the magnificent dragon, this huge guy. Wow. That is really cool. Make a dragon and somehow get his base small enough that he fits on the one square on the map. So that is really neat. So all of this stuff here was the Mythic level reward. Now, if you only funded the Heroic level, which was the lower of the 2 options, you got this. And this was kind of billed as an exclusive that they were doing as part of rewards for anyone who funded the crowdfunding campaign at all. And this is really neat. Let me show you what's inside here. This is the 4 original characters, but their sexes have been swapped. And you get a figure of each of them. Now, there's a 5th character in there. I'll tell you in a minute what he's about. But this is really cool because, well, if you have daughters and you want them to play fantasy games with you, now they can, and they can play a female barbarian or a female dwarf. And now your option of elf, who was female in the original game, you now have a male elf to choose from and a female wizard. So the stats are all the same, and even the artwork is very close. You know, their outfits that they're wearing are just about the same, but they just swapped the sexes on them. Really cool idea. And this 5th one, this little guy hiding down here. He's Sir Ragnar, an NPC from the original campaign. And so they gave him a miniature so that while you're escorting him out of the dungeon in the mission that he appears in, you can have a real miniature. So kind of a neat little touch. And again, the contents of this little inset box were given to anyone who funded the crowdfunding at all, not just people who chose to fund the Mythic Tier. So the rest of all this was the Mythic Tier rewards. So, man, am I excited. All this stuff, the detail is so great. And you have your little Zargon himself figure here. Very nice. So the attention to detail, the amount of extra costs that Hasbro put out just to make all these different versions of each of the characters just for the Mythic Tier backers. I mean, it's just amazing. It's so exciting, and I can't wait to start playing with it. I'm going to be doing some more HeroQuest content coming up here, and probably some playthroughs, things like that. So if you like this kind of thing, if you're super excited like I am to finally have HeroQuest back after almost 30 years it's been out of print, wow. If you like this kind of thing, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. I'd love to have you. Thanks a lot.